Hey guys, welcome back to a channel where we talk about things. My name is Katie and I'm an aspiring wedding photographer here in the lovely state of North Carolina. And today I'm just going to share a few tips on how you can start your photography business in 2021. The first thing I want to say is if you've been debating this for a while, if you've been debating starting your own photography business and you're letting fear get in your way, the first thing I would do is to just start. I let fear stop me from starting my own photography business for a really long time. I was afraid of being judged for my work. I was afraid that my pictures weren't good enough to make money. I thought people would, not like them if they paid for them, just all of these things that I was telling myself. And I do have a video that I'll link up in the cards and in the description down below that kind of goes through my photographer journey and how I decided to not let fear stand in my way and just start. And now look at me. Now look at me, I'm an amateur photographer, but I've actually made money and I've made people really happy. And just don't let fear stand in your way. And I think we get caught up in the comparison game a lot. I definitely do still, but if you just start and dive right in, you'll learn. You'll learn as you go. But that is the first thing that you need to do. If you need a message, if you need a wake-up call, or a sign that you should start a wedding or just a photography business in 2021, here it is, just start. So now that you've decided to start a photography business, what do you want to do? What kind of photography do you want to do? I am, as I mentioned in my intro, I'm an aspiring wedding photographer. So I decided I'm going to be a wedding photographer, and that was a journey. Do you want to be a wedding photographer, family photographer, commercial photographer, real estate, property photographer? What do you want to do? You need to decide that. And if you don't know, you don't know, that's fine, but you need to make sure that you're finding a niche or niche if you're fancy. So now you've decided what kind of photography you want to go into. The next thing you need to do is get your gear. This was my first camera. It is a Nikon D3300 and I got this as a Christmas gift from my parents. They just bought the kit. I've moved on since then, building my business, and it was time to move on, time to upgrade. But maybe you're starting out with this, and that's fine. It's a very good beginner camera. Maybe you're a beginner Canon camera. Maybe you hate Nikon, maybe you hate Canon, maybe you're Sony. It doesn't matter. You need to find your gear. And again, if you're a beginner, start with beginner gear and work your way up. Now in terms of lenses, I don't even use this lens anymore. It came with the kit and it came with this. There's a really great video that Caitlin James does on her channel and I'll link it down below. And she talks about what lenses you need and kind of beginner and like working your way up. And I just think she has really great education on her YouTube channel, on her website for photographers. And I like that she pretty much says you don't need the most expensive lens out there. You can start with this and work your way up because these puppies are expensive. For me, with wedding photography, a lot of this advice is going to be catered to wedding photographers, just so you know. Caitlin James is a wedding photographer. She talks about the different lenses she uses throughout the wedding day. Whatever kind of photography that you want to do, I mean, if you want to do sport photography, you're not going to want a lens that's really slow. You're going to want different kinds of lenses. Your gear is going to be based on what kind of photography that you want to do. But again, if you're just starting out like me, I started out with this. It was good enough. It got me to where I was until I could upgrade. So don't feel bad if you don't have like the best gear, but make sure you start somewhere. So now you need to get your business license if you're wanting to use your photography as a business. And now the two options are, well, there's a lot more than two options. You can do LLC or a sole proprietorship. Now there's pros and cons to both. I would say the biggest pro to an LLC is liability. So if somebody sues you, they can't come after your house and personal stuff. I am not a lawyer. I highly suggest talking to somebody because also it's different per every state. So there are different things that I need to fill out in North Carolina than you might fill out if you're in a different state. And I don't even know about other countries, so don't even ask. I have no idea. So definitely talk to somebody about that, but there's a lot of great resources online. Just a simple Google search, should I start a photography LLC or sole proprietorship? And there's a lot of information and resources. Now, what I did, I started as a sole proprietorship and now I'm working towards an LLC just because of that liability issue, but that is just my personal decision. And I honestly don't know why I did it in this order. Again, I'm not trying to give you any advice, I'm just telling you what I did. Go talk to somebody who knows what they're doing. And I got a lot of good information just talking to my local government office. I got a lot of good information from that person. Registering my name as a business. I have a hair. Registering my name as a business and all of that stuff. So definitely talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about. We're gonna get our business license. We have our gear. We know what we want to do. And in this example, I'm gonna say we want to do weddings. Next, we need to start building our portfolio. And I have a lot of mistakes when I was building my portfolio. I will obviously link those up in the cards and down below. I'll also link them down below because I made some mistakes. If you want to be a family photographer, maybe give out some free sessions to your family or friends. And same with like engagement and wedding photography. Maybe you do a wedding for free for a friend. Maybe you take somebody's engagement pictures for free for a friend. And then another big way, and something that I wish I did sooner, was go to a styled shoot. Styled shoots are obviously wedding specific, but if you're wanting to get into wedding photography, styled shoots are the best way. Well, real weddings are the best way to build your portfolio, but styled shoots are a really good way in building your portfolio because you just have time to sit there and build your portfolio and get the exact shots you want. You know, on the wedding day, everything's kind of like all over the place and like you have to stick to a schedule. Styled shoots are chill. They're laid back. You tell them exactly what you want to do because they're not really getting married. Those do require a cost. Obviously, they can range, I don't even know. Some I've seen are like $50, some are $600, and some are even more than that. So I would definitely look in your area, you know, styled wedding shoots, and that's a really great way to build your portfolio. I totally attribute my first wedding being booked to a styled shoot. Just start building your portfolio, giving away free sessions or maybe a reduced rate session, but definitely watch my story time about the time I got stood up for a photo shoot because this was during a time I was doing like really cheap photo sessions. Just learn from my mistakes, okay? So you build your portfolio. The next thing you need to do is set your prices. And even if you're just giving away free sessions for now or reduced rate sessions, you still need to know what your pricing strategy is going to be. And I have a video that explains my pricing strategy or just a pricing strategy in general that I'll link up in the cards and down below. What I have done is I have created a pricing sheet. So now once I went through my entire pricing strategy, I came out with the pricing. I made it through Canva, just had all of my prices, the packages, you know, wedding package 1, 6 hours of coverage for this much, and you know what is all included. So when somebody contacts me through my website and asks for my pricing, I just send them that PDF and it makes it really easy. So definitely watch my video on my pricing strategy and then create a pricing sheet after that. You need to get a website and client delivery software set up next. And what I mean by that, and I'm gonna use my own personal experience. For me, when I do an engagement session, let's say, I need to have a way to deliver those pictures to my clients. And I personally use Shootproof, and I've done a deep dive on Shootproof, but my website, you know, so people can find me and then book with me, is through Squarespace, and I've done a video on Squarespace as well. But I think if you're a beginner, what should I host my website on? How should I deliver my client galleries? I think Pixieset is a really great option for beginners because they have a plan that allows you to have your website, allows you to have your galleries and like a couple other things, and it's really not that expensive because you can pay per year. And they also have free plans. I highly suggest starting out on Pixieset as a beginner. I did, and it was really, really great, but I kind of grew out of it. So now I'm on Shootproof and Squarespace. Whatever you decide, I know there's a lot out there. I know there's Showit, I know there's Wix. People still use WordPress. There's a lot out there right now in terms of web hosting platforms and client delivery. For me, Pixieset was a really great place to start as a beginner. And as always, my website is linked down below. If you need inspiration or you want to check it out, So now you're building your portfolio, you are delivering photos to clients. The next thing you need to do is start posting on social media. I cannot tell you how many clients I've gotten from social media, because I have that in like, how did you hear about me? Like 99% of them it's through social media. And I don't mean you have to create a whole separate Instagram for your photography business. I didn't. My photography and my personal Instagram are one, because we are one. That was just a personal decision that I made. But you can start a whole new Instagram with your photography. That's great. But you gotta start putting it out there. I have a couple of tips in using social media to promote your business. Definitely use relevant hashtags in your area. So you can also on social media network with other photographers, and that is really, really important. So follow other photographers in your area, and then you can see what hashtags they use and start using those hashtags that are relevant to them because they're in your area, and you can use them on your photos. So definitely use relevant hashtags in your area. So for me, North Carolina wedding photographer, North Carolina bride, North Carolina wedding, all of those help people who are searching for me. Big thing I will say about social media is do not pay for followers. Please, I beg you, do not pay for followers. It is so inauthentic, and people can tell. I know a photographer who has paid for their followers. People can tell. If you have like 50,000 followers, but you get 20 likes on a picture, no, don't pay for your followers. If anyone tells you to pay for followers, just ignore them. Ignore them. Do not pay for followers. You just have to be patient and wait until your Instagram or your social medias to organically grow. That is going to be the best for your business in the long run, because I'm going to tell you personally, if I was booking a photographer and I went to their Instagram, because I love Instagram so much, I look at their Instagram and I see they have 100,000 followers but get 80 likes per picture, it looks sketchy to me. It really, really does. It looks sketchy to me. And I just don't think you can hide behind that anymore. I think back in the day when Instagram first started, paying for followers were fine because no one really knew about it. But people know now. So definitely do not pay for followers. Don't do it. And another thing with social media is really lean into what they call personal marketing. And Caitlin James has a really great video that I will link down below talking about like that kind of marketing on social media. And in her video, she mentions that she'll post this beautiful picture of a bride and it gets like good engagement, but then she posts an iPhone black and white photo of her child and that gets way more. And I think it's important to note that the reason that somebody is booking with you, especially with weddings or families or whatever, is because of you. There's so many photographers out there. Like, your personality on your social media, on your website, is what differentiates you. You differentiate yourself amongst other photographers. There's only one you. So really lean into that and don't get so focused on portfolio. I'm only going to put my portfolio on Instagram, because I definitely got in that little bit of a rut where I was only posting wedding photos on my Instagram. But that's not why people book with me. They book with me because I'm me, and they find my awkwardness amusing or something. I don't know. Definitely put your life out there. I mean, not like all the way out there, because, some of us don't care. Take a selfie and post it. If you have kids, share them on your Instagram. That goes into why I decided not to make a photography Instagram, because I feel like my photography and I are really one, because it's me and I'm it. Another thing that I would highly suggest is join local photography groups on Facebook or other places. I just have them on Facebook. I have gotten second wedding photographer gigs through those exact groups. It allows you to network with other photographers, you build that relationship, and then you can be a second photographer for them, and they can be a second photographer for you. And it's just always great to have a nice community of people who are in the same industry as you. The big thing when starting any kind of endeavor, like a business, is to be patient, because nothing's gonna happen overnight. I mean, maybe it does for you, but for the vast majority of us, it doesn't. I struggle with not making changes based on fear. Like, oh no, I'm not booking anybody. I need to like slash my prices in half. I need to do sales. I need some people. But your ideal clients are going to come and they're going to find you. So definitely don't sacrifice and make big business decisions based off of fear. Don't do that. In 2020, I had my very first wedding cancel on me because of, the state of the world, I got really discouraged after that. But now I'm one wedding away from my 2021 goal. So you just have to be patient. Even if things are looking rough, or you even go this whole year without booking anybody, just be patient and do the work. It will come. I promise it will come. There's sort of a snowball effect. And especially with weddings, because that's what I'm doing. When booking a wedding, you want to see a photographer with a credible portfolio. So I'm building that credible portfolio now with the 5 weddings I have booked in 2021. The more weddings I book, the more pictures I take. The more pictures I put on my website, the more pictures people can see. And then the more appealing I look to them, and then it increases the likelihood that they will book with me. You may be in kind of a rut right now, but I promise you there will be a snowball effect. And maybe you just raised your prices and nobody's booking with you. Be patient. That is a big thing too. You raise your price and then all of a sudden nobody wants to book with you because they thought you were cheap. If you raise your price and nobody's booking with you, just be patient. Your ideal clients are going to come and you need to know your worth. The last thing I'm going to say is never stop learning. I've learned so much in starting this journey over a year ago, in just a little over a year. I've learned so much, and there's so many free resources out there. You can look online, you can look on YouTube, and there are courses that you can pay for. I would be careful with some of them. You want to make sure that they do offer good value. Another thing is that you could get a mentor, a photographer mentor, and have them sit down and help you. But that's what I'm going to leave you with, and that's where I'm going to end today's video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and then other things like about my life if you're interested. I hope you all had a happy new year, and I hope this year is so good for you and your photography business, and I wish you all the best of luck. And I will see you next time. Bye!